Forces loyal to Warlord Khalifa Haftar have reportedly launched missile strikes to the south of the capital, Tripoli. That's according to a spokesperson for the UN-recognized GNA, the Government of National Accord. Now, Khalifa Haftar left the talks in Moscow without signing a ceasefire deal, which had been brokered by Turkey and Russia. Turkey's president, Recep Tayyip Erdogan, has warned Haftar that he will, quote, teach him a lesson if his militia continues his offensive against the GNA in Tripoli. Several stakeholders, including Turkey and Russia, are expected to attend a multi-country conference on Libya's future that's set to take place in the German capital of Berlin starting on Sunday. All right, for more on this, let's cross to our diplomatic correspondent, Hassan Abdullah, who joins us from the Libyan capital of Tripoli. Hassan, first, let's kick off the news hour by asking you, are you able to confirm these missile strikes that have been supposedly launched by Haftar's forces?
Yes, Alijan, the Tripoli government has confirmed that rockets have been fired in the south of Tripoli. Furthermore, the government here has said that those people who had evacuated their homes in the south of Tripoli as a result of these attacks, they have been advised not to return to their homes because the government here says that the security threat still remains and those people should find themselves a safer ground. Also, the GNA, the Government of National Accord, the UN-recognized government, is saying that the LNA militia has been building up to the south of Tripoli, and there are suggestions that they may be preparing a fresh assault. Now, an interesting official, he's basically Aqila Saleh. He's from a parallel government to the east of Libya. He's been quoted by a pro-establishment, pro-UAE establishment outlet as saying that the peace process, the ceasefire, has collapsed. But we've had a statement from the Turkish defense minister. He said that it's too early to say that the ceasefire has collapsed. Turkish Foreign Minister Mevlut Çavuşoğlu has said that Khalifa Haftar has sought more time. Now, the LNA is usually very quick to issue statements, but the LNA is silent. It has not issued any statement saying that the ceasefire has collapsed. There's another statement from one of the advisors of the UN-recognized government, Khalid al-Mishri. He said that the UAE wants the ceasefire to collapse.
Hassan, if it's a collapse, according to the reports, or to the report from the person that you just mentioned, this certainly does complicate the situation in terms of not only the ceasefire, but also the talks that's coming up this weekend in Berlin, right?
Well, yes, it does create certain complications, but the GNA says that the ceasefire will be observed unless the LNA pushes it to the point where it has to pull out of the ceasefire. Furthermore, GNA officials are saying that it's very clear that the LNA is not interested in peace. It wants to violate these terms. But from the point of Khalifa Haftar, it seems that he is facing a lot of international pressure since Turkey has internationalized this issue. The permanent members of the UN Security Council are going to be attending the conference in Berlin. So it seems that Haftar is going to face a lot of pressure, but he might try and capture more ground here in Libya before he heads to Berlin. So at the moment there is indication that his forces have been moving quite close to Misrata. This is some 200 kilometers to the east of capital Tripoli. There's a possibility that he might try and launch an attack there. But at the moment, the GNA here is certainly hoping that the LNA does stick to the ceasefire and then proceed to the talks in Berlin.
All right, our diplomatic correspondent Hassan Abdullah live for us in Tripoli.